it's Lauren. Today's video is a little follow-up that I promised that I would do, and that is of the Rose Ink Concealer. I have the shade, what is this? LX020, and I feel like this is a pretty spot-on match for me. There are 18 shades of this total. It is $30, and it also contains squalane, much like some of the other items in the line. And there was also something called Fig Buttercup. Never heard of that before. But that's supposed to help soothe redness, which I do get. So let's talk about this. It has a big, chunky applicator. And in fact, this applicator reminds me of something. Okay, it's actually pretty fun seeing this side by side. The applicator is identical to the Make Beauty serum balms, in case you were wondering. This like kind of chubby little doe foot with a hollow in the center has become kind of a popular choice among brands now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this concealer and why I love it so much. So they describe this as a medium coverage and a radiant finish. I have been enjoying this all over my face. I actually feel like it's a bit buildable too. You can get more of a full coverage out of this. So what I'm gonna do, I kind of just dotted it all over my face. I've got my skincare on underneath this. And as you can see, when you first go over it, like go over something that needs a little more coverage, if you're using it more like a foundation just to cancel some of that redness, it's not necessarily going to cover it, but you can go back over it and really build it up a bit. So what I'm gonna do on my face, I'm not gonna put it so much under my eyes because I want you to see the different methods of application and how that changes how this looks on your skin. So with a brush, you can really get it nice and sheer. This is the Jones Road Beauty Everything brush. I love this brush. I did put it in a review sometime back, but this is just, you know, a quick little swipe all over my face. So the next method of application that I want to show you is with a sponge. So I have found when I use this with a sponge, I can get much fuller coverage. Let's cover up my little marks. I've been breaking out a bit, and it's finally calmed down, but I have more marks on my face than I normally do. So let me put this under my eyes so you can see. And I go pretty hard with it. Anywhere that I have blueness or discoloration, I don't do the whole like super trendy methods of concealer application because I just think it looks weird on me. I have blue circles under my eyes, and when I do like the inner corner and then up here, I miss like a whole section under my eyes, and it just looks kind of strange, which I don't love. So as you can see, this is really nice to build up. It doesn't get cakey. It's because it's more of like that radiant type of finish, it's a bit more creamy. I have just really enjoyed using this. I like the versatility of how you can build it. So as you can see with a sponge, you get a much fuller application because you're really just pressing it rather than dispersing it with bristles. And so for someone like me with the blue under my eyes, as you can see when I turn, that's gone, okay? And so I kind of like to take that down the sides of my nose too, because I always have redness on the bridge of my nose for some reason. Always have. The only thing I've noticed with this is my one more prominent forehead crease. I feel like until I set it, it looks a little more like highlighted. But that's also because it's a radiant finish. So something to keep in mind. But I do love what this does for my skin. I've been embracing more radiant finish products as I've gotten a little older, and also just living in Colorado, it's really dry here. So something with a little bit more dewiness has been a little more friendly on my skin. But I love the coverage of this. I really, really do. And the other thing I'll say with this, even though it's a radiant finish, it's not overly greasy looking. Because I feel like a lot of times I use radiant finishes and I don't love them because they look greasy on me. All right, so this is our close-up here, and you can see it does settle a little bit if you have a couple of deeper creases. What I do with this is I just kind of tap them out, and then I'll put on my powder to set everything down, and then that stops that from moving around. But I love what this does on my skin, and I love how it wears throughout the day. It keeps my skin looking really juicy and fresh, not overly greasy. And I have noticed too, because I'm more of a combination skin type, I'm kind of a combination sensitive skin. I've noticed even when my face gets oilier throughout the day, this does not separate. It just, you get dewier all over, but it does not cause the product to separate. And that's pretty important to me. And also just because I got a little closer to my mirror, so I was able to kind of look at this. The one thing I'll say is my forehead lines are a little bit deeper than, say, like my under eyes. This does not crease up under my eyes. So like finer lines and things like that, I don't really feel like it settles quite the same. So I'm gonna get the rest of my makeup on and we'll talk about it. All right, so the rest of my makeup is on. In conclusion, I love this stuff so much. I have used it all the time since I've got it. I've had it probably, I don't know, close to a week now. I went out and bought it shortly after my last review. And I love what it does for my skin, you know? Like it looks really radiant and fresh and healthy, and I get really good coverage with this. It wears well, it doesn't separate. I really, really like it. And I actually feel like, let me see how much is in here. 0.36 fluid ounces. It's a lot of concealer. Like, let me check. The Shiseido Synchro Skin Concealer is 5.8 milliliters, and this is 10.8. So, you know, the price point I think is justified when you compare how much you get to some other concealers. And I love how it looks on my skin. I've been so happy with this. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. Helps other people find my channel, and I can continue making fresh new content for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.